Yeah, so some of the discussion summaries and kind of looking at the priority gaps um, that is most urgent in terms of capacity development for CSOs. There's quite a lot of discussion around partnerships for around policy and governance needs, and establishing mechanisms for more specifically for youth-based organizations, and to have meaningful participation, engagement of marginalized youth. Um, Also, there was a discussion around continuous development of youth, particularly those in the early to mid-career professionals. I guess kind of emphasizing the building technical expertise, so that there is meaningful engagement, contribution to some of the technical work within the CSOs to reduce the reliance of external consultants. And this mechanism would be, I guess, through a train the trainers framework, and something that can be replicated across different civil societies, across different youth groups, and essentially be a blueprint for replication across different regions. And of course, have this embedded in national plans, and that was something already mentioned, and looking at kind of building a resource monitoring and evaluation framework. So with this capacity, with building capacity, looking at building resources, building an evaluation framework, and kind of like best practices of some of these learnings to be shared. And I guess just to summarize that point is looking at civil society organization capacity map, and developing a train the trainers framework as well. And in saying this, there's also quite a need to look at a feedback mechanism, not just for civil society, but also for different partners, governments, donors, so that they can be updated on exactly what civil society needs in terms of capacity. There was also quite a bit of discussion around resource mobilizations and developing toolkits so that that can be shared across different CSOs. And a toolkit that was a really good example is the use of the disability toolkit, so that that can educate other civil societies and include this new knowledge into some of the work, some of the projects and implementation across different communities. We also would like to, we also mentioned and talked about strengthening coordination mechanisms, so that a lot of the work can be translated into meaningful results for CSOs, institutionalizing youth leadership and development into SIDS, and there's a strong emphasis around the room already around youth development, youth leadership, youth participation, and youth engagement. There was also earlier today a proposal to have an online platform, and so that became a point of discussion on whether is this the most useful platform for civil society. And I guess there was a kind of resounding emphasis to expand on this platform to include various resources to be shared, to have further engagement online, as well as having an in-person collaboration with the online platform and other resources that can be shared. And so one proposal is to have an annual SIDS CSO summit so that we're able to share some of the success and see where we can work together towards certain challenges, and also look about, I guess, kind of think about scale and how we can collaborate as well. And finally, philanthropic pledge to support South to South working groups, and strengthen and expand some of the existing partnerships, and also form new partnerships and collaboration. Look at how to support some of these toolkit designs, as well as framework designs as well. So that's kind of the main points of what we discussed, and a lot of it can be found in the Google Doc. Thank you.